The following content is intended for a mature audience only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Boom, boom. We're on British Bears, coming to you from another land. The British Bears Show, another kind of fan. Bears fans all day, Bears fans all night, 365 days, 5,000 miles away. Hey, hey, hey! The British Bears, the Irish Bears, the German Bears, the Polish Bears. Wait, what? We are Bears. We are Bears. We are Bears fans. The British Bears, the British Bears. Welcome to the British Bears.
Welcome to the British Bears Show. And now your hosts, C-Dub and Jason UK Bears.
Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon if you're in the US. But yeah, good evening. British Bears Show. Bears fans in the UK on the British time zone for all the sort of European fans. Welcome. Armando and Patty Lara are in there again as usual. And as you can see, Armando, it's Dave again. He stepped in manfully to replace Chris, as Chris has still not got his laptop fixed. Hopefully he's back with us next week. But we'll just see how we go. Let's worry about tonight first. So yeah, welcome in everyone. Welcome, Dave. Good to see you again, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, nice to be back. Thank you for inviting us back, mate. I really enjoyed last week, and you know what? It's been a great week. Sort of like giving it the big one, walking around work after a fantastic victory, and then obviously, yeah, maybe not so walking around so mad this week, but it's been a good week.
Good. Nice one. Always better on a victory Tuesday as well, isn't it? Just amazing. Again, what an absolute stonker of a game. It's just last minute all the time, isn't it? They, leave it right to the end. Armando says hello again to you. That's excellent. Part of the furniture now, mate. You've been in the chat. Now you're on the screen. Good to see you. Good to have you here. So,
No worries.
yeah, Clutch Caleb, man, as the title of the show says, defying the odds, we called it, because it was once again the opposition was it something like 96%, according to that. There's that chart, isn't there, that goes through the game, a bit like we have WinViz in the cricket. There's an algorithm that works out based on history the likely outcome of the team and of the game. And it had the Giants at 96% to win that game in the last few minutes. But we ignore that sort of stuff, us Bears, don't we?
Things have changed, mate. I'll tell you what. It's I think we're getting ourselves a team that no matter what we're up against, we can find a way of turning it around. And okay, I know we was having a bit of banter during the game, and we was struggling to find many positives until we got to the fourth quarter, and then, blimey, wow! It's just the whole of our mood changed. You could tell the stadium that mood had changed as well, because we don't really use the word clutch player over here, do we? And
No.
And our American colleagues, and friends, they use it a lot, and I've heard it a lot since Sunday. Caleb is clutch, and I quite like that.
Absolutely. Just turns up when it matters. Yeah, exactly. And that's now, I think it's 4, isn't it? I've got a stat for that later, but I'll talk about that. But it just seems to go into, like Armando says, it goes into another level in the fourth quarter. It just seems to sort of, it's just where it's zone, isn't it? It just seems to work. It's calm. It just seems to be, he just sees things differently. And, last few minutes, last quarter, got to go out and win the game. Patty says every Bears game this season is designed purposely to take years off your life, for better or worse. Oh my God! Like you said, mate.
Yeah, I haven't got many left.
group chat when we passed the messages, and it was there was some stuff going on there. It was good fun.
No, you know what? It's if you'd have compared that to maybe last year, and I don't know what Ben Johnson's creating in that dressing room, but I know with sport a lot of it's psychological stuff as well. So I don't know if they're working on Caleb's mental strength or whatever you want to call it, or getting in the zone. But something is happening, and whatever he turned on the fourth quarter, yeah, it was something special. And I think I said it last week. Cream does rise to the top, and now with Ben Johnson's help, Caleb's looking pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I watched a little bit of the QB breakdown. Is it JT O'Neill? I think does those, and he was really praising Caleb's feet. He said it's a lot of time he used the word perfect to describe Caleb's processing and feet and going through his reads and stuff. So he's starting to get a lot of credit, I think, for in the Crimson in the house. Crimson, you dig? Greetings and go Bears! Absolutely. Good to see you, Crimson. Yeah, let's just go into the game, shall we? Let's talk about the offense last week. Let's start with the offense. Caleb was 20 of 36, 220 yards, an average of 6.1, one touchdown, and 0 interceptions, and a rating of 80, passer rating of 83.1. So I think people have noticed that his stats would have been very different had we not had I think it was PFF claimed 6 drops. I think there were sort of 2 or 3 that they didn't. They didn't class as pure drops because they were contested or whatever. But man, our receivers have got onto the ball, haven't they?
Yeah, to be fair, I know, and it wasn't as if Caleb's throws were that bad either. It was they were catchable balls, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And initially, it's a bit fresh out there. The snowflakes were dropping, but come on, man, it's Chicago. We haven't got a dome. We should be used to that. And to be fair, the Giants receivers were catching balls. Who was the guy caught it one-handed? It was a superb catch for them, and I'm thinking, well, we should be doing that. So, but one of your stats here I really liked. He did throw any interceptions, and I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly in those conditions as well. Although I did think the play calling was a little strange because it's when we knew that the Giants were terrible on run defense, and we only ran the ball 20 times. There was I thought we might have seen more on the ground, especially with the conditions, but.
Definitely. I think all week, all the media, X, Twitter, all talking about the running game, going to pound into the Giants, pound them all night. And what did he do? He threw all night. So, and you know what? Ben Johnson, he must know. He knows what he's doing. And maybe everyone was saying run at them, and the Giants were expecting us to run at them. So, and, did you say we dropped 6 balls? We dropped 6 catches.
According to PFF stats, they're saying it was 6 drops, which is the most by any team in the game this season. But then there's at least sort of 2 or 3 others that they didn't count where it's hit the receiver's hands because it's contested or for whatever reason they don't count it as a pure drop. So they say 6 pure drops, and that's the most by any one team in the game this season. So there was somewhere that hit them in the hands, didn't it?
Yeah, that's not good stats, but hopefully Johnson can work on that in the week.
Yeah, and I think with those, he'd have been obviously 26 of 36 and probably over 300 yards. But then if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So, it is what it is. But ultimately, no picks as well. So, again, I got another stat for that in a little bit. And that's the main thing is keeping the ball safe. We're winning the turnover battle. In terms of the running game, we had 171 yards on the ground. Like we said, there wasn't as much as expected. But Armando says, they broke Dayball as he was fired the next day, wasn't he? The Giants fired their head coach because I think they've let double-digit leads slip for, about 3 or 4 times this season, I think, haven't they? So their patience wore out. Especially the one was the Denver game, wasn't it? They were up by 20 points or something against them, and then Denver scored 30 points in the fourth quarter or something, didn't they?
Yeah, and to be fair to their coach, you'll probably talk about it later, but the fact that Dart obviously got injured and taken out, and they replaced him with Wilson. I'm not quite sure what factor, what opinion people might think that factor might have been to us getting a win. Was that the lift that we just needed to get ourselves back in the game? Seeing Dart walk off injured, which was a shame. So he did play well.
He did, yeah. He's mobile as hell, isn't he? He's But I know that, I know some have credited it with that, making it easier for us when he goes out the game because he is a danger on his feet. Like I mentioned last week, he was their leading rusher in the previous game. I can't remember if he was or not this week, but I know he was last week. He was there, got the most yards on the ground, and you can see why. And they clearly design it around him. But then, unfortunately, this is what happens when, if you're going to keep putting your quarterback at risk. I mean, I know that, it's good to have that threat from a mobile quarterback, isn't it? And we've got that quite, significantly with Caleb. But I do get nervous when he starts running. Like that one he dived for the goal line. I just don't like to see him get hit. So...
No, and to be fair, I don't know, the Giants in a position that the Bears were maybe 2-3 seasons ago, where, we're trying to build a new team around a QB. I think they've actually got their franchise QB now. He's looking good. So I wonder if they're going to go through the process. And yet again, like the Bears, it might take them 2 or 3 head coaches before they get it right.
Yeah, maybe. Or to build some talent around him or just whatever it takes. Yeah. I know. There's a little thing question from a comment from Armando here. He says, did we see the quote by CJ Gardner-Johnson that said he was tired of Dart running the ball? I didn't see that, no.
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see that. But I can imagine why. Yeah. But, so Swift led the way with 80 yards on the ground, 13 carries, an average of 6.2. Caleb was next up with 8 carries for 63 yards at 7.9 average and touchdown. And we saw much less of Manungai, 7 carries for 28 yards, 4-yard average, and he got a touchdown as well, didn't he? So Booker in the house, King Booker World, welcome, mate. Good to see you. I guess not as much running as we thought, but I think the running game's going well, isn't it? We're averaging a good amount per rush, and I'm just surprised we didn't see more of it. But like I say, I did notice that quite a bit of the time the Giants were stacking the box. They were putting quite a lot. I think they did expect us to run the ball, so I think they kind of tried to counter that by stacking the box a bit. So we did see a bit of that, and maybe that's why Ben Johnson decided to switch up. But can't complain with that. Passing game, Rome led the way this week with 6 catches for 86 yards, 14.3 average in his touchdown. He could have had another one, couldn't he? That one came again. One of the drops went through his hands. Loveland was 4 for 55. Luther Burden, who looks great every time he gets his hands on the ball, doesn't he? I want to see more of him. I don't know what your thoughts are about Luther Burden, but
yeah, you know what? I really found Luther stepped up to the mark on Sunday, and he's had nothing but. I think even Ben Johnson gave him a game ball. I think. I just thought he was on another level actually, and he really stood out for me. And I think that boy's got so much potential.
No, the two game balls. One was Caleb, and one was Gardner Johnson. The ones that I saw.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Bloody marvelous post game. Speak to that they love. I love those so much after a win, man. Swift had 5 catches for 18, and then Komet and OZ had 1 each. But Zacchaeus should have had another couple.
Yeah,
we've done that. But DJ.
Jason. He had a bit of a nightmare game, really, didn't he?
Yeah, it is a shocker, wasn't it? As a pro, it's not like he's a rookie getting used to it, and could you say he's not used to the cold weather? But I don't know. He's as a professional wide receiver, he's got to catch that, and he. Prometheus, have I seen you? We've seen you in here before, but welcome. Another, probably have. I expect it's just my memory. The Bears rise, he says. Absolutely, man. Welcome to Victory Tuesday, Foster. Good to see you, mate. Welcome. Good. Thanks for joining us. Glad you're okay. We were a bit worried about you being missing in action for a couple of weeks there. But in terms of the passing game, it was effective enough, wasn't it? It's just the drops, wasn't it?
I just found it frustrating. It's we were discussing it through the game. It was sort of like we get a little bit of momentum, and then it just comes to a grinding halt very, very quickly. And it was a bit of a stop-start game, wasn't it?
Where is he? It was a little bit, yeah. That's Booker says now they haven't beat anybody. Oh yeah, he's talking about the comments about the Bears. First it was they have a hard schedule. Then it was that we were lucky, and now it's that we haven't beat anybody, even though we've been the underdog in every game except 2.
No, I get that, and to be fair, credit to the Chicago Bears. You can only
got your Prometheus. I thought I'd seen before. I think this is with these new usernames we're seeing. It's a bit confusing.
Fair enough. But and what the guy said earlier, you can only beat the teams that are put in front of you. And there's no easy games in the NFL. There isn't. They're all professional guys, and yeah, okay. We're not stupid. We fully expected. Hand on heart, we wanted to beat the Bengals and we want to beat the Giants, and we have. If we'd have lost them, we'd have been pretty cheesed off. But we got games ahead now. This is a real benchmark for the weeks coming ahead, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know that. It's like this. I think it's almost like people want to start. I don't know. It's for some reason sort of putting this win down because we've got harder games to come. It's just beat the team in front of you. It's week by week, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, 100% on that.
Right. Yes, there is no easy games in the NFL. Just ask the Buffalo Bills. Because I replied to someone on YouTube. There was a comment. I can't remember which video it was, but someone had put something about we should have thrashed the Giants. Good teams will just destroy the Giants. And on my comments, I put like the Eagles, because the Giants' 2 wins, one of them's against the Eagles. So there are no easy games, man.
No.
And the conditions might have affected it. And again, what I was really pleased with the offense was the 0 sacks stat, which is that's a big deal. Brian Burns was leading the NFL with 11 sacks coming into the game. We gave up quite a lot, 12 pressures, which is a lot. And Caleb just dodged them, didn't he? So that was 33% of his dropbacks.
Yeah, because there's been a couple of videos being shown online where Caleb sort of taken a few yards back, and instead of panicking, he's really, really waiting to throw, and the D line were just holding back some of the offense, just holding them back, and it's beautiful to watch, and it just gave Caleb those few extra seconds. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and I know that I think it is JT O'Neill. I can't remember. The guy who said he was basically, again, praising him for his, I can't remember what he called it. It was like a spin out of the back of the pocket.
That's
one
it.
time
Yeah.
there wasn't pressure from the left. Benedette had lost his guy. He was coming at him. Aunt Mass in the house. Welcome. And he said he praised him for a perfect revert, spin out the back. Prometheus, I'm going to address this now. Right, look like a beast. Have you seen the one where he just put who it was been Brian? I think it might have been Brian Burns. Tried a spin move. Have you seen that? It's going around social media. He tried he did beat him a couple of times with a spin move. But there was one time where Brian Burns tried to do a spin move on Darnell Wright, and I think Wright caught him with his punch at just the right time, and he literally just put him on his ass like a ragdoll. It's hilarious. Yeah. Awesome. So good to see, man. I loved it.
It's one of those things. It looks good when it works, but it looks bloody awful when it doesn't.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like it's just manhandled him, man. It's just threw him out the club, as they say. But yeah, it was brilliant. That was one of my favourite highlights. Another one on offense was Swift, actually. Do you remember there was that 4th and 2? And we did that sort of zone run to the left, sort of coming towards us on the screen. And Swift got met by a defender at the line of scrimmage, and he put his shoulder down and ran over him and ran through him. And the guy ended up, it was slow to get up, actually. He was, because he got clobbered by one of his own players. But it's nice to see Swift putting his shoulder down and running through contact. And because we thought we were going to lose.
Because really, the Giants player sort of impeded his own player as well, really, didn't he? And it's sort of like you say, Swift did duck his shoulder down and sort of drive a little bit harder. It was great. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was another offensive highlight for me. And another one was the penalties, man. Only 3 penalties for 25 yards, the fewest in both categories this season for us. That's the lowest number of penalties and the shortest number of yards we've had all year with penalties. And only one was on the offense. It was that false start against Benedette, wasn't it? The other 2 were defensive ones. So, like that, the roughing the passer on Sewell, where Dart's helmet came off. And then the other one was that ridiculous imagined holding call on they called it on Grady Jarrett, but they showed the replay and it didn't look anything like a hold. But hey ho, I ain't talking about penalties this week because it doesn't matter.
No, true. And you know what, mate? Sort of like last week, we were talking about the refereeing, and this week we're not. So that's a positive.
Exactly. The only one that was questionable, I think we were mentioning it in our group chat during the game, didn't we? Was they said the reason that they called Sewell for the roughing the passer was because Dart was on his way down and he hit him and obviously knocked the helmet off, and it's a high hit. And the reasoning used by the analyst was that it's the defender's responsibility to avoid hitting the quarterback in the head. And then a few plays
Oh,
later,
okay.
Caleb was sliding and got kneed in the back of the head by a defender, and there was no call. It's like, well, surely that same thing applies, that it's the defender's responsibility to avoid hitting the quarterback in the head, especially when he's sliding. But yeah, it's a minor one this week, and I'm quite pleased it is. So yeah, we've done penalties to death.
And like I said to you before, Jason, we all watch the game, and there's so much going on. There really is a lot going on.
Yeah.
And a bit like soccer over here, we got the benefit of VAR or replays and stuff. And these guys, they've got a lot of work to do, and they didn't upset me this weekend.
Yeah, and that's good. Yeah, but no, you're right. A couple of comments here one's from Armando. He says Wright had one hiccup, and Caleb helped him out by spinning out that sack. Yeah, he has been playing so well, hasn't he? But then Caleb again has been avoiding sacks like there's no tomorrow. So he's done really well. And then Booker also says Wright has been playing at an all-time level since the break, and even Jackson has stepped up. Yeah, Jackson has been playing really well, hasn't he? Certainly in the run game, he's moving bodies, man. That on offensive line is just getting it together. And I know the weak link is probably the left tackle. He's the one that's given up the most pressures. I heard someone say they think he might get moved into guard because they're saying he's got short arms, but I don't know if that's what's causing him problems. But he's serviceable at the moment, and as long as we can live with it until the end of the season. But in my mind, thinking sort of ahead already, I don't know about you, but I think left tackle is probably the only thing we need to worry about in the draft, and the rest could go on the defense. But it's a long way to be talking about that. But I don't know what your thoughts are.
We're a long way from that. And I read about Bears and stuff like that, and a lot of them are quite happy. The thing is, when you're winning, it's easier, isn't it? And we're sort of like picking holes a little bit. But the left hand side is a little bit vulnerable. And Ben Johnson will sort it out. He'll sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. Prometheus has mentioned that. Yeah, 3 penalties for 25 yards was a major improvement. Absolutely was. Yeah, Booker, we just said that. Yeah, they missed the knee to Caleb's head. And then Foster's saying, anyone hear about the trade that was going to be made, but Ben Johnson stopped it? No, I haven't heard about that. Give us.
No.
Oh, that Foster said that's all he knows. Half a story. Bloody hell, Foster. No,
yeah, thanks for that.
I know. Actually, I do know they tried to trade for Alonte. What's his name? Alonte. Oh, what's his name? He's basically a cornerback from the Saints. They were trying to do it, but I think they wanted too much in terms of draft capital, so they didn't do it. And the same with another pass rusher, wasn't it? That's why they went to Joe Tyron. Foster says they won't give details. Okay. Yeah. Bruhar, welcome, man. Good to see you. Benedette will be fine. He's really, for the run game, he's an absolute monster in the run game, isn't he? The weakness is his pass protection, but if he can get help, we managed it fine this week against one of the best front sevens, or at least front fours in the NFL, didn't we? I was a bit worried about coming into this game with Burns and Thibodeau and Abdul Carter. Booker, I don't want to hear elite and Jordan Love in the same sentence no more. No, absolutely not. But yeah, Benedette is exactly. We're managing with him, and that's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not. I said not for 1 minute. I'm not getting into like slagging players off and stuff.
No,
but we gave up 12 pressures, which is it's like a 33% of our dropbacks. So that could be better. But again, against that defensive front of the Giants, I think that's a pretty good performance. So happy with that. So
totally agree with it.
It was not too bad, really. That was the sort of main headlines. Let me think if I've got anything else. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, like with the offense, I was looking. My favourite position is tight end, and I thought it was quite interesting how Johnson used sort of like Loveland and Kmet in slightly, quite big different ways, really. Kmet, a couple of times, he was putting some serious blocks in, and he was doing. You know what? I really enjoyed watching him play, and then obviously that frees up Loveland's. He's got a bit of freedom. So it was like he gets about 10, 15 yards. Comes back in, and then it opens it up. And then, but I just thought it was absolutely really good to watch. And Kmet's been getting like I said to you last week, Kmet's been getting his ass kicked a little bit online, and I thought Johnson used him really, really well. So he's a big lad. And and I just thought the tight ends were used wonderfully. And Loveland again, he's quality, mate. He's quality.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I believe that's the last couple of weeks we've seen why he was taken in the top 10. I know some people are everyone assumed it was Tyler Warren. And then people are making comments about they should have taken Warren because he's obviously lighting it up. But then he's playing with Indianapolis Colts, who are just ripping it up, aren't they? So don't tell me that he's doing the same thing in the Bears team, because he wouldn't have been used the same. So again, it's these sort of false comparisons that people make, looking backwards and a bit of hindsight. But I know you're starting to see the last couple of weeks why Loveland was taken top 10, and I think he's going to be a tight end in this division. His hands are amazing, aren't they? I think he could be the best pass catcher on the team right now. And he blocks, and he just awesome. We've got a really good couple of tight ends there. Like I say, Komet, as you say, been getting a load of crap, and I think unfairly, because he blocks his arse off. He's a great big bodied tight end. And
even a couple of times when he set up, he was sort of like alongside Caleb, and funny enough on the left hand side most of the time, maybe just giving him that little bit of protection there. Absolutely. And then he would cut across. And you used the word last week. Sometimes with our tight ends, there's quite a few mismatches sometimes, and it just makes those Komet can make holes for you. So he was fantastic. I really enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, I saw one of the breakdowns. So that one, like I say, I watched today. Essentially, it was Komet that sealed the backfield to allow Caleb to get into the end zone for his touchdown. So,
and you know what? It's a lot of credit for him for doing that, mate.
Absolutely, and the Ben Johnson will be noticing it. So Crimson says, "I tried to tell people it was the coaches and the O-line." Oh well, yeah. Funny enough, we've got better at both, haven't we, Crimson? And things are looking up. It's great, yeah. So I think that was the main things I noticed was like the pressures, but 0 sacks, which is great. A bit surprised at the lack of running, more passing than running as I expected. The penalties, especially the pre-snap penalties, was much better, apart from the one false start. Ron Winarski, welcome in. Good to see you again. A lot of the regulars showing up now.
That's nice, yeah. Good.
And
the drops. One thing we have forgotten: Rome's dad.
I know.
He's going to be a lot happier. He's going to be a lot happier.
Did you see the clip in the locker room after? It was so funny, wasn't it? One of the reporters just went to him and said, how did you feel like getting called? Your number was called the first play of the game, and Rome has got a good sense of humour. He said, "Yeah, thanks, Dad." And then there's a laugh.
Even on our banter group, and when he first got it, I slipped it in there because I thought, the media were going to jump all over that. But you know what? All dads have got an opinion, and if he thinks he wants to see his boy or son being used more, too right. He's entitled to say it, and he played well.
Yeah, exactly. Jebediah Harper says football dads are just like pageant mums. Yeah, probably similar. I expect. Yeah, don't get in their way. But yeah, you're right. And it's a bit our media, man. Like, and I think Rome handled it fairly well when it was all going on. Because it's
very professional.
It's like, your dad wants you to do well, and it's like, I'm my own man. He's his own man. It's nothing to do with me. And then they asked him, did you talk about it? And he said, yeah. And they asked him, followed up with, what did you say? He says, I'm not telling you about that. Bruja, I totally agree, mate. Caleb should be a Bear for the whole. I would love it to be his whole career, man. Because I just think, it's a great combination. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. We could have a dynasty for 10 years here, couldn't we? I think. And you're not going to get ahead of myself, but you just got to take it a step at a time. But what we're seeing is just different, isn't it? It's so different.
It's refreshing. It's refreshing, mate, and I'm really enjoying it. And with Sundays, sometimes you sort of like went to a game to watch it, and you think, "Oh, what's going to happen today?" But now, you know what? I've just looked forward, and I think after the Bengals game, like I said at the beginning, everyone was walking around with a positive vibe. The media, all of a sudden, everyone loves the Chicago Bears, and I was so looking forward to the Giants game. I was so looking forward to it, and the build up, and then obviously you created our chat group, and the banter was flying. And I used the word halfway through the game, it's turning into a bit of an anticlimax. And whereas before we said we would have lost that game, but that's what I love. Something's just changed. Something just clicked that we're always in it with a chance.
It's a different culture here now, man. There's a different culture, isn't there? There's a different belief. So, Relentless Mikey, welcome again, another regular in the house. Good to see you. It says, "Hey, that doesn't look like Chris." No, you're right. Chris has still got his IT problems. So yeah, a bit less hair on there and a different accent. But yeah, Chris is hopefully back with us next week with his IT sorted out. So yeah, in the meantime, you've got us Southerners. So hopefully you can understand that. Jim Foster, hello. Drippy Digs. Oh God, have you seen that? Yeah, the Fluce's quits principle. I can't help you here, Jebediah Harper. I can't help you anything there with baseball, mate. I don't. That's your area, isn't it? You do a bit of baseball, but yeah, I don't. I was asking in Sean Sierra's chat the other day about whether I should get into either basketball or baseball, and the guys kind of recommended the NBA because the Bulls have started the season well, haven't they? So we'll see. We'll see if I've got time for that as well. But yeah,
I think the guys have noticed behind. I've got a couple of St. Louis Cardinal stuff behind me. I thought they might. I did it on purpose actually, because my daughter goes, "Jack, do you want that?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll see if anyone notices." So he's noticed, which is good. So exactly. cut a very, very long story short. Obviously, I've got mates in Chicago. Some of them are Sox fans, and some of them are Cubs fans. And I thought I'd piss them all off and be a St. Louis Cardinals fan. And I'll tell you what, it's been a fantastic ride. And I love my baseball as well.
Yeah, well, there you go. You can chat offline with Jebediah. Crash Talking Bruja. So they're having a bit of bants between them two, I think. Yeah. Fucking Foster is coming in with his different accounts, jacking up the likes. And yeah, Relentless Mikey says Fluce is a generational loser. Man, he was a good DC, wasn't he? But holy crap, it was just cringe, wasn't it? When
how's he getting on? Is he at Dallas now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a defensive coordinator at Dallas. Yeah.
I don't really thought what they've been doing.
Not great. They've been offense is on fire, but their defense has been pretty bad.
I quite like Prescott actually, but yeah, so Eberflus be out of work again, will he?
Maybe.
Shame, isn't it?
Crimson disagrees. He was not a good DC. No, actually, to be fair, when he started doing that soft zone and we were just letting teams march down the field, actually, yeah, that's pretty bad. Foster says that they're the worst defense in the NFL. So yeah, I'll take it all back then. He's not his shit. The Booker says Dallas already want him gone. Yeah, okay. I retract everything I said. He was good for a little while for us, wasn't he? But anyway.
Yeah.
I've blocked
that. Thank you.
But yeah, so talking about just for the finish off the offense, mate. I guess we sort of yards per play was 6.1 for us, and the Giants had 6.2. So again, we'll talk to the defense in a minute, but we allowed them to march down the field quite a lot. Obviously, fourth down was 1 out of 4 because everyone was going for it on fourth down, weren't they? Prometheus. Eberflus blew 4 games for sometime management. Yeah, terrible. Eberflus uses ChatGPT for his scheme, says Jebediah. Brilliant. But yeah, so red zone trips, we had 3 touchdowns in 4 red zone trips, so that's not bad. Third down efficiency, I'd like to see better. We did a 3 of 11, so that's not really great, is it? So we got stuff to work on, man, but we're making strides, and there's never say die attitude, isn't it? So I'm happy with kind of just keep winning games, man. It's ugly, but just watch out when all 3 phases of the game start to click. We'll be unstoppable. So.
Yeah, it's a joy. Like, it is a joy to watch. I know. We was having plenty of banter during the game, and Shorty was entertaining us with his Cockney accents and stuff like that, and we was having good fun, and it was fun during a pretty dull game because it was quite frustrating to watch, and then the banter in our group just dropped once the fourth quarter started because we were watching a game and we were watching a comeback. It was fantastic. Yeah,
it's good sporting drama, isn't it? Can't beat it.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool. So defensively then against the Giants, it was disappointing again. We've given up so many yards, aren't we? We've given up so many yards. What's keeping us in it is the takeaways, and perhaps the red zone. We held them to 1 touchdown in 4 red zone visits. So, Oh, Crimson, is that some breaking news? Asante Samuel Jr. has gone to the Colts, has he? That's okay. Fair enough. I know we had him in for a visit, didn't we? Because a really good, solid cornerback, but had that neck surgery that he was recovering from. So, yeah, Okay, he's gone to the Colts.
Will he be on decent money?
I guess that he may be on some kind of like deal that protects the team if he's not up to it. Because I'll say he's just come back from neck surgery. He's had some vertebrae fused and stuff. So for a cornerback,
Yeah, I can hear that actually. Yeah, so that's probably pay as you play type deal.
Like an out for them if he can't stay fit. But yeah,
fair
Bruhorn,
enough.
we trust, man. Yeah, Jebediah Harper, absolutely. The defense will be so much better if they're ever healthy, man. We're getting sort of hammered on the injuries, aren't we, on the defense still? So it's good to see Booker back there, yes, for sure. But yeah, we held them to 1 touchdown for 4 red zone visits, and we won the turnover battle again too, didn't we? We got the fumble recovery. So in terms of the defensive players, man, CJ Gardner-Johnson, wow, what a game!
Was he two sacks?
2 sacks, yeah. So he had 9 tackles, 7 a solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble. That's not bad, is it?
That is not a bad day at the office.
That's a pretty good day at the office. That's 3 sacks in 2 games. So how did Wright drop that interception? I think drop is a bit harsh, Armando. I think it was quite a good play by the receiver, wasn't it? Wright was coming down with it. He managed to knock it out of his hands. Signing CJ was huge. So I agree, Jebediah Harper. What a difference he's made. Obviously, when Gordon went out, then that's what he's been brought in to replace. And I know there was talk about his attitude in the locker room and all that kind of stuff, but he knows Dennis Allen, doesn't he, from the past because they drafted him. He's played a lot of time in the slot. So he's been a hell of a signing for us, making a big difference. So I don't know. Ron's asking when Spider-Man...
What you just said about the locker room as well. You know, it's sometimes, he might ruffle a few feathers in there, but it livens people up, and people want to sort of like perform, and people like that. I thought he had an amazing game. He was brilliant. Yeah,
exactly. CJ Gardner-Johnson's come to play, says Bruhor. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. Gardner-Johnson is. You love that he's on the Bears. He's a sort of player that you hate playing against. You hate him when he's on the other team, but then you love him when he's on yours because he gets in the head, man. Jebediah, the secondary is broken, man. It's hard to overcome, and I think that's a big part of why our defense is not doing so well. Is the lack of pass rush. Although who's saying that about that? Where is it? Lennox Mikey says that Booker led the defense with 5 pressures. I couldn't find the stats on pressures for us, but yeah, he's looking good. And someone else said something there too, but I can't find it. But from the eye test, who was it? Yes, it was Jebediah again. Whole defensive line was getting a better push. I know they've been getting some. I feel like Dexter's getting a bit more push up the middle. I guess we could see more from Garrett. That's a bit disappointing with him. He's sort of not really earning his contract, is he? I guess, but he's a solid pro. But we'll see how he goes. Johnson is a motivational guru and his elite scheming offense. Man, you're seeing the difference, aren't you? That's just he's getting players open. He's just I love it. Love to see. But anyway, I'm diving into the rabbit hole of the chat, man. Let's. I think they're all kind of agreeing that CJ was huge signing. He led the way. Like I say, then Tremaine he's been playing really well this season too. He had 7 tackles, 4 solo, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 pass deflections and a quarterback hit. So he's making plays. Sweat again is showing up now, isn't he? I think he's like 4.5 sacks in 4 games now. Because he had 3 tackles, 2 solo, 1.5 sacks, a tackle for a loss, and 2 quarterback hits. So he's starting to produce a bit. And then Dexter, 4 tackles, 1 solo, half a sack, and a quarterback hit. Mayshawn Wright, and that was it. Booker mentioned him just now, man. He's exactly. Where was your comment, mate? He was totally spot on. He's the sort of player that as you, where is it? The sort of player that as you cursing him out and then praising him in the same drive. It's just, and you can see why he's not like a starter on a team, can't you? Mayshawn Wright. He'll give up a massive play or a stupid penalty or blow his coverage, and the next time he'll come up with a pass breakup. He recovered the fumble, didn't he? So he's making plays. He gets a pick. He got a couple of interceptions. He gets burnt, but then he makes plays too. So I think he's doing. I'm happy with him as a backup because he's like 4th or 5th string, isn't he, man? But I think he's doing all right for someone that far down the depth chart. So
yeah, I think also I've noticed it more in the last few weeks of TV coverage where the commentary team are sort of focus on great plays by our defence, and I've never noticed that before. And I think the guys are doing all right considering, we've got a few of our big boys still out still, and I really do hope we get at least one of them back before at least the Eagles game. We need a little bit more strength in depth for at least the Eagles game. But we'll see. I don't want to rush the boys back, but hopefully they'll be back soon.
Oh, okay, we've got a correction here. Sorry to go to that. Asante Samuel Crimson has corrected it. He says Asante Samuel's gone to Pittsburgh, not Indy. Fair enough. Thank you for that
cool.
But yeah, where are we? What are we going on? But yeah, so another good play, wasn't there? Was Brisker broke up that touchdown. The guy was coming down with it, and Brisker sort of ripped it out of his arms, didn't he? So a really good play to save a touchdown by Brisker.
Well, to be fair, I made a note of that one because, Brisker, I've written down he breaks up a definite touchdown when Dart throws a fantastic ball to Bellinger. And Bellinger did catch it. He did. But as they're falling back, you could just see that he just got in there. It was fantastic.
He gets his arm round and it comes out, doesn't he?
Yeah. And for me, that just shows the aggression and the hunger that we need from our defence. And, if you're going to score a touchdown against the Chicago Bears, you've got to make sure you're on top form.
Yeah, exactly. Just making plays. And that's what's saving us, isn't it? With the amount of yards we're giving up, it's the takeaways that are keeping us in the games. And the big fear is, of course, that it sort of reverts to the mean because we're just picking, with the turnover battle we've been winning every week. And the games that we've lost is when we haven't had turnovers. So that's what's making the difference. Our defense is giving up yards, but they're making plays, man, and that's what's making the difference. And Devin Guy's saying people got to realise of how big an improvement that is, though, with the cursing and then the cheering. Is that it's been years of only cursing the TV. It's right.
Yeah, I've got. I don't know if you can see it over there. I've got a swear box, and Jesus, it's heavy.
I'll pay for your Christmas shopping.
And more.
But yeah, Foster's right. We like the decrease in penalties per game. That we've mentioned that already, and that's a big improvement. So yeah, defensively,
is that in from the coaching? Do you think, or is that who's setting that sort of standard for where who's telling the guys, or what's changed? Do you think?
It's really hard to say, isn't it, mate? I don't know. I guess it's just maybe just people are getting comfortable with the system. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they've changed something with the cadence. I don't know if they've changed something with the shifts before the snap. Who knows? I don't know what it is, but it's work. Whatever it is worked, isn't it? Yeah,
because you get a lot of offenses. They sort of put a fake delay on their play to try and draw the defence out, don't they? And I watched it a couple of times on the red zone where I can't remember what teams, but no one moved and it was good. And I found with the Bears, everyone was sort of setting up nicely. Everyone's hopefully in the right place where they should be, and they didn't get caught out. I liked it.
Yeah, but they had the takeaway, didn't they, as well? The fumble recovery. So +1 for the game on turnovers, which is again you keep that's a really important stat in it. If you can keep the turnovers in your favour, Brujo, I think you could be right. It's comfortable with the cadence. I think there's a lot of little things, isn't it? Probably a few tweaks that are starting to get used to playing together. They gave up 431 total yards on defense, which is not the best. I think I saw a stat about what was it now? It's something along the lines of, I think that's the first time in sort of years that someone's got 400 yards of offense and lost the game or something. I can't remember what it was, but they had 10 penalties for 69 yards, the Giants, and they were 5 of 14 on third down. So we're not doing too bad on third down stops for the defense. So long as, again, that makes a difference, doesn't it?
100%, yeah.
Was that from this week or last week, the angry run? Kyle Monongai got the angry run. Was that last week or was it this week? So Jebediah. Philly beats Detroit, and if Bears win the next 2 weeks, Bears sit in a way better spot than I expected by week 13. Doesn't seem impossible. And going to Detroit, this team will be ready for revenge. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that's there's a bit of a sort of thing, like a little brotherhood going on with the Eagles and the Bears, isn't there? Because they're doing each other favours. Because so far, the Bears have beaten the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Commanders for Philly and done them a favour. and the Eagles have beaten the Packers and the Vikings, and now they play the Lions at the weekend. So it's down to them to close the deal for all three. So yeah, it could be really interesting if that goes that way, and if we can beat the Vikings next week. But we shall see. And it doesn't seem impossible. It doesn't anymore, does it? I think if you'd have told us by come the halfway point of the season we'd be level at the top of the division with Detroit, you'd have taken that, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%. Have we won the same amount of games? How many games did we win last season?
I think it was. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I think we've got to be pretty damn close already.
Was it 5 or 7?
I don't know. We've got to be pretty damn close to where we were already, and we're only like
5. Yes, 5.
There you go.
Yeah, it was 5. I thought it was 5. Came to my head.
Yeah,
so we've already won more games this season than we did last year.
Yeah, so come on,
That's
mate.
Right. So after the Washington game, we went on a 10-game losing streak, didn't we? Yeah, we were 4-2.
Yeah, and you know what? All we want to see as a Bears fan is improvement, and that stat there. Well, that one stat there. We're one game ahead already. So
man.
And second, I must admit, I checked the North League this morning, and I was fucking well chuffed. Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, and my missus looks at me strangely anyway, but I don't really give a fuck about that. But and when she said that, which gives us a but for us, that means so much, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Jebediah says, my mum is a Bears fan and Hester is the whole reason I started watching football. That's not a bad reason, is it? First person to make me realise how electric and exciting the sport is. He was unreal, wasn't he, Devin Hester, man? Just unreal. Yeah. It was Walter Payton for me, same as you, I think, mate, wasn't it? It's similar.
You know what? I went on one of these websites because I'm mad about William Perry. I love him, and I had a fantastic T-shirt with him on it, and it was just something iconic about that particular team. That it was like a bit like the crazy game, wasn't it, for the Wimbledon? It was sort of like
I read this. I read this book while I was away, man. I'll lend it to you. I'll have to bring it over. Absolutely.
Don't need to. I've got it. I've got it.
I thought you might have done. There you go.
Yeah, it's fantastic read, isn't it? It's a fantastic read.
Yeah.
And what I like about that particular book, it's written by a journalist, but from a fan point of view. Yeah. And there's so many great stories in there. But yeah, it's just it was it was cool.
What a team, mad, isn't it? I still watch it. They're on Game Pass. I still occasionally watch that story of the '85 Bears. I just love it. Brewhorse saying that Asante Samuel signed to the Steelers practice squad. That's interesting. Yeah.
Where's he at the moment, Samuel?
He could have followed his dad and rooted for the Eagles, but his Chicago is my ride or die, and that's for sure, isn't it? Ride or die is the way to describe it. Brilliant. But no, I think what a finish, man. Caleb is clutch, man. What a Armando says he was coached by one of the '85 Bears, Dennis McKinnon. Awesome. Nice. Anyway, good. That's killed that. But no.
Yeah, and you know what? We've got so much love for that '85 Bears, and I really, really hope the next generation of youngsters watching the Bears now, they can get the same pleasure from the current team. Yeah. Maybe not this season, but maybe the season after, and then maybe you could run a podcast for new Bears fans saying, where were you when we were shit?
Yeah, where were you when we were shit? Yeah, 20 years, or 30 years, whatever it was.
Oh no,
brilliant. But yeah, that's but it's just amazing to be in these games. Yeah, Prometheus says Johnson has done a miracle work on the team's chemistry and the willingness to go the extra mile. He's a leader, isn't he? You always wonder when it's someone's first time head coach job, stepping into that role. But man, I think he's just everything I see from him. It's just what you want in a leader, isn't it? I just love it.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I was listening to a pod on the way home from work, and someone was saying, "So who's the head coach at the Lions?"
Dan Campbell.
Right, him. I think someone said that he might be sort of taking over, sort of like the offense plays as well, play calling as well now.
He did this weekend. He took over the offensive play calling. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a difficult one because if you've got someone like Ben Johnson on your staff, do you, as an offensive coach, don't you? Do you just offer him a contract that he can't possibly turn down to keep him, or because they obviously knew how good he was, and especially to go to a divisional rival as well as a head coach. The Lions must be really bricking it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're still quality, aren't they? But I mean, they've had some bad. They've let some games slip, haven't they? So
Yeah.
we're worried about. Well, we're not worried, but we wanted to see how their sort of brain drain was going to affect them with all the coaches they lost. But they're still loaded with talent, and they've got a sort of familiar scheme. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously they trounced us, didn't they, week 2? But we owe them for that. But we'll see how it goes. I think hopefully by the time we play them again, then we're rolling, aren't we? This is the last game of the season, isn't it? So it could potentially have massive implications for the playoffs.
Can you imagine that, mate? Jesus.
I know, imagine.
I just think, from a Bears fan's point of view, if you said to me at the beginning of the season, get to the last game and you've got a chance of getting in the playoffs, you'd take it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And that's what he said. Meaningful football in December. That's what you want to see, innit?
Yeah. I might have to see the doctor to sort of get some more blood pressure tablets, but we'll wait till December to find out.
I know, exactly. Yeah, I thought I was going to be hammered on Sunday because I was having a shot for every touchdown, didn't I? But then I had one very early on, and then I didn't see another one for quite some time, so I stayed fairly sober.
Yeah, no, and you know what? It's because of my work commitments. I can't drink, and but this weekend I am because I'm off. So
excellent.
I don't do shots, but I'll have a few beers with you, mate.
Nice one. Right, I think we're ready to move on then, shall we? Are you finished with last week's game? Anything to add, mate, about the amazing?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna mention Santos because actually he looked pretty damn. Like I said last week, a steady Eddie, and this week he went back to being a steady Eddie. The weather conditions were against the Kickers. Obviously, the Giants kicker had a bit of a shocker, which really benefited us when he sliced one off.
Yeah.
But for Santos, no, he done really well actually, and I think credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I guess the counter to that would be that he didn't have anything from over 40 yards, did he? So, but like I say, yeah, he nailed every kick, didn't he? So
I'll give you that.
But is what it is. He's still. I still think he's getting a bit of harsh treatment. Unless this injury has proved to be a bit of a, almost like it's going to affect him going forward. He has been the most accurate kicker the Bears have ever had. So suddenly, and I've got a friend who's a Niners fan, and he's saying like Moody, there's a reason they cut him. He was awful. He was missing extra points like they were going out of fashion. Missing PATs, missing field goals. He was, and it takes sometimes people need a change of scenery. They take a time to adjust or whatever it is. It could be a really good kicker in the league, but I think it's too small a sample right now to dump Cairo and then just get Jake Moody in because we might regret it if he suddenly starts reverting to what he was like in San Fran. You will see. But yeah, I think Carl, hello mate, how are you doing? Good to see you. Darn, I am late. You're right, 53 minutes in. Crikey. We better move on, don't we? Do you fancy a stat bomb?
It's the only reason I'm here.
Right then, here we go. Everyone's favourite part of the week.
No, it is.
Oh, thank you. Right, so a quick check-in on the Caleb to 4,000 passing yards progress. He's now average so far is 237 yards per game, and he requires from here on in 233 yards passing per game. And if he stays on that, he'll get at current pace. He'll get 4,035 yards passing on the season. So we're on track. Just let's keep an eye on that. So we talked about Caleb being clutch. This was the 4th game-winning drive this season, which is tied for the most in a season by a Bears quarterback.
Okay.
And for this season, it's tied for the most in the NFL by anybody this season with Baker Mayfield and Bo Nix, who've had 4 as well. So no quarterback in the NFL this season has had more fourth quarter game-winning drives. Let's go to Monday Night Football, shall we? Fancy a bit of that?
Not half.
Monday Night Football, Eagles against the Packers. That was the first game to be scoreless at halftime since December the 10th, 2023. And that on that weekend, it happened twice, unbelievably. The Vikings and the Raiders, which finished 3-0 as the final score, and then the Texans and the Jets, which finished 30-6 to the Jets. But those two games were scoreless at half time. If you want to see the last scoreless Monday night football game, that's 2009, which was the Ravens at the Browns. And another little stat I noticed from somebody on, I think it was on Reddit, in the first half of that game, Eagles-Packers, it's in that first half, the quarterbacks had a combined 4 pass attempts of 10 or more air yards, not including throwaways, and all of them were incomplete. So no one managed to pass over 10 yards in that first half. So well done, Jordan Love. That's for you. And then on X, and this is from stats from PFF, it's alluding to what we said earlier about the missed tackles. The avoiding the sacks, right? The most missed tackles forced by a quarterback this season is Caleb Williams with 26. Tied for second are Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Jackson Dart with 17. So there you go. He's dodging sacks, man. And then I've got a couple more to add, all right, and this is from Larry Mayer, who's senior Bears writer at ChicagoBears.com, who always provides some great stuff. Good ones here, right? So we lead the league in explosive plays, so passes of 20 or more yards and runs of at least 10 yards. We had 9 on Sunday, including 4 on the late touchdown drive. Williams' 20-yard pass to tight end Colton Loveland, a 29-yard run, a 27-yard pass to Luther Burden, and a 17-yard touchdown scamper, all on the same the 2 last drives, which I'm getting a bit jumbled there, but I'll stop there. And then the other one is, right, where is it? Come here. Right, so the Bears have scored 30 points in the fourth quarter in the past 2 weeks. That's the most in the NFL and over that period. And then the other one was relating to Caleb Williams, right? And you said about interceptions, and this is where I'll finish it off, is he's now had, since the start of the 2024 season, Caleb Williams has had 18 games without throwing an interception, and that's tied for the most by any quarterback in the NFL. So he's not turning the ball over, which is helping us be plus 20 it is on turnovers, which is great. So, yeah, leading the NFL in turnover differential. So that'll do.
That's fantastic stat. Yeah. Yeah, some great stats there, mate. Really, really good work.
You know, I love it. I'm a geek. But, I mean, ultimately it's about wins. And I think Jebediah said it in here. Stats don't matter, only wins. Haters love stats and fans coping they didn't win the Super Bowl use stats. Just to answer your question, this stuff is still interesting. Yeah, that's how I find it, Jeb. I'm not saying be all and end all. Yeah, Carl, we saw that earlier. Crimson had already told us that. I think it was, Brewhor mentioned it. There was a practice squad. Asante Samuel Jr. has gone to the Steelers practice squad, but thanks for that. Yeah, so basically, it's about the eye test, isn't it? You want to watch good football, but I just like stats because it adds a bit of colour, doesn't it? And sometimes,
100%.
Go on.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, I've said to you before, you see the game differently, a lot differently to me. I can sit back and I sound like Gladiator. Are you entertained? And yeah, at the moment I'm being entertained. And but it's when I listen to things like what you just said there, I can actually see that. And silly things like Caleb's interceptions, not getting sacked, makes us winners, mate. It makes us winners. Absolutely. And considering I don't know how long you've been doing this podcast for, but if you were doing the same stat bomb from last season, Jesus Christ, it'd be like, I don't know, Caleb's been to A&E 5 times this season or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he showed last season, didn't he, how robust he is? Because 68 sacks, man, he was getting smashed, wasn't he? He was just getting just bashed around the place and didn't miss a game, did he? So, And
you know what? If you're about to throw a ball or run with a ball and you know you're going to get hit, that's the difference this year. He ain't getting it, and it's showing.
Yeah. Well, long may it stay that way. Right.
Yeah.
On to the Vikings, man, on Sunday. So, yeah, revenge game. First one of a divisional revenge game, man. We're a bit, we're all Steve M in the house. Evening all, let's go Bears, Victory Tuesday. As they say, Crimson, there are lies, damn lies and statistics. Yes. I think I said something before about like 46.7% of all stats are made up on the spot. So, yeah.
As a guy said to me today, knowledge is porridge. And
Flex Diggs, good to see you, man. It's good to see fans of Chicago across the pond. Cheers, guys. Enjoy these wins. We haven't been a winner in a while. Absolutely right, mate. That's it, and that's the way I do it. You got to it's a short season. You've got to enjoy every game, man, haven't you? And how can you not enjoy what we're doing at the minute? We're winning games that last season we'd have lost, man. How many of these close games have we just thrown away? You know?
And I feel very honoured that, the last two Bears Country podcasts, I'm on the back of a win. So,
yeah,
we'll
love to see how that goes, mate. Yeah, I know. It was rough last year, I tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Ravens, right? They lost 27. Sorry, the Ravens. The Vikings lost to the Ravens 27-19 last time out. JJ McCarthy is back in. He was 20 of 42 passes for 248 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions for a passer rating of 54.5. He also led the team in rushing, so that sounds familiar to this week. He had 5 carries for 48 yards. In terms of their receptions, actually, their top 2, Jefferson and Allison, they weren't the leading receiver this week. Jalen Naylor had 5 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown. Jefferson had 4 for 37. Addison 3 for 35, and Hockerson only had 2 catches. He was usually a big part of their offense, isn't he, the tight end? As far as the running game goes, Aaron Jones was 9 carries for 47 yards, 5.2 average and a touchdown. And then Jordan Mason, 4 carries for 25 yards. So the average 6.7 yards per carry in rushing. So that's something we've really got to look out for. Another stat I like to look at, actually, is one of these things I always look at in terms of, I think it makes me feel like the quarterback's putting the ball in danger, is on ESPN. One of the stats they show is how many passes were defended by the defense in that game. And the Ravens basically had 13 passes defended, which is one of the biggest numbers I've seen. So it tells me, along with his interceptions, that JJ McCarthy isn't keeping the ball safe. Defenders are getting their hands on it. So that's, again, for a team like us that's taken away the ball for fun, I think that's potentially an area where we could have some success next week.
Yeah, and to be fair though, in the last, I don't know what run the Ravens are on. They found a little bit of form again now, haven't they, since the start of the season? So that was always going to be a tough game for the Vikings. And JJ's quite young, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Well, it's his first year. He came out of the same draft as Caleb, didn't he? And I'm going to respond to that.
How old is Caleb? How old's Caleb?
24, I think, now.
Yeah, so I think JJ.
Someone in the chat will know. D. Quicken is checking in. I'm not sure I've seen you before. Checking in from Chicago West Side. I really just wanted to hear you say West Side. Is that okay? West Side. Is that okay in an English accent?
No, it's more West Side, isn't it?
Need to make JJ suffer for all 4 quarters this time. We were all over him, weren't we, first game? Look out. You see who's in the...
No, I can't see who's in.
What the fuck?
West Side.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
from the West Side myself.
Foster's from the West Side. But yeah.
This is the first time I've seen him without a cigarette in his mouth.
I know, exactly. It's unusual.
Yeah, he must have run out.
Yeah. So, in terms of their offense, then that was it. So they had 248 yards passing. They had, I can't remember. Where have I put it? Anyway, that was their running yards. Another interesting one was actually on special teams. Quicken, that was great. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jebediah, Foster cameo. We let him in now and then. On special teams, Miles Price, their kick returner, he had 2 fumbles on his kick returns. So that's, again, something to watch out for. So ball security seems to be an issue for those guys. They lost one of those. They recovered the other. Their offense on 3rd down, they were 3 of 14. So, Flex. The Vikings embarrassed us week 1. Let's see the Bears come out with purpose. I mean, we had them where we wanted them, didn't we, for 3 quarters, and then just had a meltdown. So we need to make them pay for that. And then in the red zone, they were 2 of 3, so not too bad. But an okay day, but I've got a feeling that JJ McCarthy he puts the ball in danger, and that's what we've got to exploit. They had 13 penalties over the game for 102 yards, so they're horrifically last week. And they had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and a fumble lost. So again, hopefully we can keep that rolling with us. In terms of so let's get their defense, right? So Jonathan Allen had their only sack of the game. Ooh, I'm getting feedback there. Are you right?
Yeah.
He had 1 sack, and then they had 3 tackles for loss, 4 passes defended, and 4 quarterback hits. So from that defense, that's actually not a great production. Because we know what they're like, don't we? They blitz at the highest rate in the NFL. So far, I think it's 42.2% of blitzes for the defense. For context, the Bears is 24.8%, which is 15th in the middle, so bang in the middle of the NFL in terms of blitz rate. That produces, according to Pro Football Reference, a 30.3 pressure rate for them on defense. So again, similar to what we experienced this week. Alex is my name-o. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Good to see you. So they blitz a lot. They get a lot of pressure. In terms of the defense, they gave up to the Ravens 169 yards passing, so not much, considering. But 152 yards on the ground. So again, that's something potentially we could exploit. Jebediah, get the Monsters of the Midway back in Chicago. Hopefully. Keep our fingers crossed, Dave, for the next couple of years. Jonathan Greenard is one of their stars on the defensive line. He left the game injured with a shoulder injury. We never know. Tuesdays are no good for us with injury reports, are they? So we won't know anything more until later in the week.
Yeah, I remember you saying that last week, actually. Yeah, when did the injury reports actually come out officially?
The first one's on Wednesday.
Yeah, because I sort of only really noticed it, really, because do you do fantasy football? Because I enjoy that. I've got a couple of leagues that I'm in. Bit of fun, bit of banter.
Yeah.
And you can get the players that come up quite quickly. And, it's quite good information, actually.
Oh, okay. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't do that. It seems like a lot of work to me. But yeah, so in terms of their defense, right? So I looked at again some sort of more advanced stats for the Vikings defense. 37.6% of their defensive drives end in a score of some sort, which is 12th in the NFL. And then for the Bears, it's 41.8 of our defensive drive ends in a score, which is 19th. The NFL average is 39.7, so we're kind of like both 2% up or down from there, so we're kind of middle. In terms of, this is the one that won't surprise you, in terms of the defense, the drives that end in takeaways for Minnesota is 8.9%, which is 23rd. So not great. For the Bears, of course, it's number 1. 20.4% of our defensive drives end in a takeaway. So 1 in 5. The league average is 10.4%. So we are double the rate of takeaways on defense for the average.
Yeah, I think that suggests then, I think we need to put early pressure on JJ McCarthy, really get into him early on.
Yeah.
I think having, out of interest, I'd be interested to know how many Chicago Bears fans will be in the stadium on Sunday, because I think, we call it, like, as you know, the 12th man over here. Just having the extra fans there. We just need to get some big Chicago Bears energy on Sunday in the stadium, get into JJ early. And I'd like us to score early as well, just to sort of like settle us down.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that stat. I was going to get that one from Larry May. I was getting all discombobulated, right?
Oh, so, go on.
I've remembered it now. This is the not all 9 games this season. We've scored in the first quarter in every game. And to talk about the difference between this season and last season we only scored in the first quarter 4 times.
Oh, okay. So that's something's changed there then. So that's a good stat. So if we could do that on Sunday, just sort of like, as I said to you before, get the home crowd quiet. Let's get into them early. Let's get points on the board early. Get the confidence flowing. Hopefully there'll be a few thousand Chicago Bears fans in the stadium that can sort of like get behind the boys. Mate, if we could take anything away from this game, if we could walk away with a victory, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably would have expected us to lose this one, considering like their record last year, how we fared. But, it feels like a game we can win. There's a chance we could win it. I think it's winnable, isn't it? So,
and I'd be interested to. I haven't actually looked at the bookies and what they think the game, which way the game could go. To be fair, so I might have to look at that tomorrow, because
I haven't seen.
I think I think the bookies will probably fancy the Vikings, but they don't know what we know. So
you always get a home field advantage, don't you? So Hey, Armando says friends in Mexico are talking to me about the Bears starting to be a good team. If
Are they talking
Carl
to me in Spanish? Are they talking to me in Spanish about it, or
Probablemente. If the Bears win and go 7-3, I will go to the Colombian room to celebrate, says Carl. Okay. I expect to see pictures. But yeah, so all right, so let's look at ranks. And what I normally do is I sort of compare their sort of standings in terms of rankings for offensive versus defense, right? So this can usually give you a bit of an indicator where the game might be won or lost. But in terms of our defense and the way it stacks against their offense is ranked 24th in the league in yards per game, and our defense is 27th. So quite similar. So they're not in terms of yardage per game. Their rush game is the 24th in the NFL, 102 yards per game. Passing 177, I think, 197, sorry. And then they're 21st at 22.3 points per game in terms of their offense. Our defense is ranked 27th in yardage, 24th against the run, 135 yards per game, 26th against the pass, and then 28th in points conceded at 27.4 per game. So they're not too far apart, but you would say that statistically, the Vikings offense has a slight edge.
Okay.
But I say I'll come to something in a minute, which is will hopefully shed a bit more hope for us on that. In terms of the offense compared to their defense, like I say, normally they're pretty good, aren't they? Their Vikings D is pretty savage, but they're actually not having a great year compared to last year. So in terms of yards per game, they're giving up on the Vikings defense. They're 12th in the NFL at 317 yards per game. And I don't know, this is quite unusual for Bears fans, right? You have to hold on to your hat here. We are the third ranked offense in the NFL at 379 yards per game. Third in the NFL offense. This is the Bears, man. And rushing defense for the Vikings, they're ranked 22nd. So not great. And of course, we have the second best rushing offense in the league at the moment at 147. So again, that's potentially a good point for us, a good sort of matchup. Passing wise, their defense is 9th in the NFL actually. So that's their best part of their defense is their pass defense. They're giving up only 191 yards per game. And the Bears offense is 11th in the NFL at 232 yards. Yes, Crimson, that's 10% more than the Packers. And in terms of points, we are 7th in the NFL at 26.6 points per game, and the Vikings defense is 18th in the NFL in giving up points at 23.7. So we have the edge in terms of rankings in offense, if you want to look at it that way. But again, something that could be critical is the turnover differential. Like I said earlier, JJ McCarthy doesn't seem to be able to keep the ball particularly safe, and we've got to exploit that. The Bears, as you know, lead the league with turnover differential of 14, and they have 13 interceptions. So it's plus 14 in turnovers overall, and we've got 13 picks. Minnesota's turnover differential for the season so far is -7. So they've given the ball away 7 times more than they've got it back. And of those, they've thrown the third highest number of interceptions with 11 this season, behind Miami. So that is an area we need to get a pick or two and start putting pressure on. Then they've got to go to the passing game and we can get after him, because I think Dennis Allen will be dialing up blitzes to hopefully make him feel uncomfortable. So that's generally where we lay, man. What's your thoughts?
You know what? If you'd have asked me this time last year, no. We're up against it. But you know what? We've got a fighting chance in this game.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to come out with a victory. I really do. I just think Caleb's he's unstoppable at the moment, and as long as we can stop JJ and keep the home crowd quiet, we've got a bloody good chance, I reckon, mate.
Yeah. The only thing that worries me, of course, go on.
No, I really do, because I don't know. I don't know if it's the Caleb factor, the Johnson factor. I don't know what it is. It's just something buzzing about the team at the moment.
Yeah, there's belief, isn't there? There's just belief running through the team now.
Yeah.
As I was going to say, I think the only thing that worries me, of course, is their wide receiver core is one of the best in the NFL, isn't it? So Addison and Jefferson, and with our cornerbacks being banged up, and we're on to sort of third and fourth and fifth string, that's an area to watch. So that's why we need to get some pressure. Yeah,
Yeah,
Alex,
and I think the coaches will be working on that this week. They'll be working on that. They know what Jefferson and all that's capable of.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They'll be drawing something up when they totally. So yeah, maybe some more CJ Gardner Johnson blitzes. That'd be nice to see. But Alex is my name. Says keep JJ in the pocket and we'll win. Yeah, because like I said, he led the team in rushing last weekend. JJ McCarthy. So a similar sort of mobile quarterback to Dart that we just played. Crimson says the Bears by 2 scores.
Take that. I'll take that right now.
Prometheus is saying 2 touchdowns but by 2 TDs. Crimson says 31-21 Bears. That's his scoreline. Do you fancy giving a score prediction? I know Chris likes it. I'm never any good at it. I just pull a number out my arse and go for it. But I always root for a Bears win. I'm not a pundit. I'm a fan. I never ever say the Bears will lose.
No,
that's just the kind of guy I am. I'm an idiot, you know.
I reckon it's going to be another close one. I reckon they're going to be. Could both teams get over 30 plus? Possibly. I don't know. I just don't know. It'll either be very, very tight or very open. But I'm confident already after your stats today that we're going to score in the first quarter. What that score will be, I don't know. But at the moment, it's looking like 7 points.
I'll take that. But yeah, I mean, I say we scored in the first quarter in every game this year, and last season, we managed it only 4 times. It's just
yeah. I think that's the stat of the day, that one, brother.
Cheers, man. I nearly forgot it. So, yeah, Alex says 27-24 Bears. I think I could probably see something like that happening.
It's blood pressure tablets score.
I know, yeah. That's going to be a nail biter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bears Country Productions. Who's that? Is that Foster or is that Shorty jumping in? I think that's Foster. 27-19, he says. Prometheus, this is a different team since we last played Minnesota. You are damn right it is, man. Yeah, and Chris Reeder, welcome. I haven't seen you in the chat before.
No, he's a friend of mine. He's a Bears fan. He's an American guy. He's a good lad.
I haven't seen him in the chat before, maybe, unless I have, and I've forgotten.
I told him. I told him I was on here tonight. So welcome, Chris. Good to see you, mate.
This week should hopefully give our defense a lot of confidence for the rest of the season. I'm hoping for 4 takeaways and at least 1 pick six. I would take that, man. Hell yeah. And I think there's a good chance of more than one, multiple picks against JJ McCarthy because he just can't keep the ball safe, I don't think. From the stats, like I say, from last week, he had 2 interceptions and 13 passes. A defender got his hands on them. So D Quicken says Ben's Bears, another win. Good, better, best. Love it. Oh, I love those post-game locker rooms, man. Just awesome, aren't they? Good, better,
best. That's something that you would never. You imagine Sir Alex Ferguson doing that at Old Trafford after a game. It's just something that the Brits wouldn't do, really, would it? It's just more like the Neil Warnock one where he's effing and blinding at all the players for having a crap game. Yeah. But yeah, and you know what? The sport is you got the sports science behind things as well, and we got an expression over here: blowing smoke up someone's arse just to sort of give them the lift that they need. But you know what? Everyone that accepts the game ball or gets any praise, he always thanks his teammates as well. And I've really noticed that. And even Caleb, if it wasn't for the team and all that brilliant stuff, there's a real united feel about the team at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think there's a real culture. You can just feel it, can't you? So, yeah, Steve M says lose and they're a game behind and with a 2-game tiebreaker over us. Yeah, absolutely, man. We need to win some division games. It's... I think this game is our playoff or bust game, says Steve, which is, we're going to get, it's a tough stretch, man. But I think every game is going to be important now. It's just a bit of a cliche and kind of obvious, isn't it? But with our sort of division games coming up, we need to win some division games to help with the tiebreakers for sure.
And the fact that we're going into these games competitive with quite a few guys on the IR list, as things can only get better, mate. Honestly, they really can. And when you've got quality players coming back to a winning team, my God, that makes a difference. If you're on the injury list and you're coming back to a team that's getting battered every week, it's soul destroying. And at the moment, the vibe and the atmosphere around the locker room must be amazing. The guys that are in the injury room, they want to come out and play. So, mate, if we could, I really do hope we can come up next week. I want to sort of like just if we could just get something out of this game on Sunday, I think it really will be a statement of intent.
Yeah, it'd be massive. To go into the Vikings' house and win would be pretty mad. Crimson says he doesn't think the Bears lose another division game this season, man. That is a bold take, and I will 100%. I'll come back to that, man. If we do, that'll be amazing. That's division win, then, isn't it? We'll win the division if we do that, I think.
Agree.
Fight for the top at the minute, aren't we? So if we beat everyone, but yeah, that would be incredible. What a turnaround that would be. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's such a difference, isn't it? Such a different feel to go into this game thinking there's a chance of going, top of the division by a game if the Eagles can beat the Lions, which is no easy stretch.
And I think also from a fan's point of view, we're looking around all the other big names like your Chiefs, your Bills, and all that. They're losing games as well. Yeah. And do you know what? I've just noticed such a positive change in sort of like the media, the fan base, podcasts. Everyone's uplifted, and it's got to get back to the team. That sort of all this positive energy, and okay, we're not perfect, and we're far from perfect, and you know what? But we're doing our best, and I think with all that energy, if we'd have lost the game on Sunday, my God, it would have been a bloodbath on the internet.
Oh,
but the fact that fourth quarter, Caleb, as we like the word clutch these days, it's just everyone's saying he's now our franchise QB for years to come. As one of your followers said tonight, hopefully give him a 10-year contract. And that, if we can put all our faith in that, it's just such a positive vibe at the moment. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, winning builds that momentum, doesn't it? It builds a sort of a good feel around the place. And I think they always say it in the soccer here, don't they? That the sign of a good team is when you play badly and still keep winning. And we know that we haven't had a game where all three phases have played well at the same time, have we? So we've had games where the special teams has won it for us, games where the defense has won it for us, and games where the offense has done it for us. So watch out, everyone else when they start to put all three phases together, man. So
yeah, and actually, you've just reminded me before we go that which I really do think is a good idea. Your 25%, 25%, 25%, 25% stats on a game, and I did message you. Was it last? Well, when I was watching the game,
yeah.
I'd be interested to know what you thought the stats would be for this particular game against the Giants, because obviously,
yeah, I know.
If you gave stats, what about if you just gave stats on the fourth quarter? It's obviously going to be a lot higher, but because the first three quarters are a little bit
average. I know,
iffy,
but I mean,
isn't it?
That kind of sort of model theory that I mentioned last time was it's only the fact that if you're not getting anything from the refs, you need to replace that part of that 25% with something else by being good and off. You know what I mean? So I just feel like there's a portion of each area that contributes to winning a game. So if you've got the best defense in the league and are throwing touchdowns for fun, then you're probably doesn't matter about your special teams or the referees or the coaching. So I mean, that kind of fits into it. So if your offense isn't playing well, then maybe the coaching can help you and lift it. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. What I mean is,
I get it. I think it's a really good idea what you've come up with there, because I totally understand it, and like I say, I mentioned to you before, that last 25% where you're in the hands of the gods, the refereeing, the weather,
coaching,
a mistake, it's all that sort of stuff, and I think it's a good one, that. And but after the game, I thought, I wonder what his statistics would be percentage wise after the Giants game, because like I say, the first three quarters, it was a bit, I don't know what the word is really, not very exciting, really, was it?
Yeah, kind of. We started off all right, and then the game went a bit flat, didn't it, for the middle section? And I think it can. My percentages can change throughout the game, because as we saw, like the defense is giving up yards, but when it mattered, they made the stop, didn't they? The fourth quarter, they made that stop. So, and I think I know the defense gets a lot of shade, but I think Dennis Allen's doing a great job with a hell of a lot of injuries on defense. Noah Sewell didn't have his best game at all on Sunday, which we didn't really mention, but yeah. Missed tackle and some bad sort of coverage and stuff. But I think he's doing well to get what he's getting out of the defense with takeaways and making plays when it matters. So it'd be great if we can start getting some of these injured defenders back, start to bring that defense up to the level that the offense has been playing at. And we'll see where we end up, man. But yeah, I'm excited for every game at the minute. It's just great stuff
Yeah.
to watch.
No, it's fantastic, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm
Absolutely.
going to have to let my dog out in a second, though.
That's all right. We can wrap up now. Mate, if you want. It's getting to that time, isn't it? So
yeah, he's hovering around me. That's
trophies for yards. Hell yeah, Crimson. It's points, isn't it? And if we get takeaways, they don't get points. So yeah, exactly. All these stats are interesting, but they're not the be all and end all. So, but the defense keeps making plays, and it's the takeaways that are keeping us in the games. So, like I say, onwards and upwards, buddy. So yeah, let's wrap it up then. So thank you so much to everyone who's joined us in the chat. Some great comments in there. Really enjoyed spending the time with you guys, and also with you, Dave. Thanks for stepping in. Excuse me. It's just great.
I look forward to seeing Chris next week as well.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch, and I'll say your name. We'll do our little group chat for the games. Does this guy want to say quick something before we go?
No, I was waiting to say hi to you guys. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you, Dave. I was going to see if I caught you in the back. That's all.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Foster, mate.
My pleasure, man. Good show, guys.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, Crimson, you're gonna make me shout it out, man. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. I fucking love that. So good. Go Bears, FTP. So yeah, thanks again, everyone in the chat. Thanks to you guys for being here. And again, Dave, thank you for stepping in. I say hopefully Chris is back next week, and then you're always welcome. Obviously, we could do a three of us on the show. It'd be great. It's great.
You said a threesome then, didn't you?
No, I didn't. That's you doing that. You get out of here. D Quicken says, great show. Subscribe. Thanks very much, man. These guys, this is an American channel. We just happen to be some Brits that hop on because they're our friends that run it. Look out for their show on a Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I think it is. And then, yeah, just Bears Country Productions podcast on a Thursday night. Keep an eye out for those guys because that'll be on a more friendly timescale for you if you're West Side Chicago.
West Side.
I know, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing that for.
West Side.
But yeah, anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks for Shorty for the channel and for making the opening and closing videos. They're just awesome. There you go. Foster says 8 p.m. Central. What's that mean? 9 Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
They're about 6 hours behind, aren't they?
I got a thumb. Yeah, 6 hours for Central. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, that's what to look out for, D Quicken, if you want to fancy seeing the Thursday night show. Yeah, so let's wrap it up, man. Again, thanks again to everybody. Great to see you, Dave. Let's go, Bears. I'll see you in the chat on the weekend, and we'll wrap it up with a big bear down, shall we? One on three. 1, 2, 3.
We are Bears. We are Bears. We are Bears. British Bears, the British Bears, the British Bears.